Hey family, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is an amazing, beautiful Saturday morning here in Atlanta. And I hope that you're having an amazing, let me turn this music down. I hope that you're having an amazing Saturday where you are. Hey, drop your city in the chat and let's get ready. This is our Saturday morning fellowship, okay? On Saturday mornings, we fellowship. We come together and we talk about how our week has been, what plagues us, what concerns us, what burdens us, what we're excited about, what we are eager to share with people. Saturday morning is our fellowship hour. And I don't plan on being, long, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe up to an hour if it gets real good. At that, we got to cut it off because we got things we got to do on Saturdays. Ain't that right? So, hey, family, good morning, and I see you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to our Saturday morning fellowship. I'm excited about fellowship today because we have quite a few things we got to accomplish, and I'm looking forward to just getting them all done. So, if you don't mind, drop your city in the chat. I see you in the comments. Thank you so much for popping on in. I see you in the comments. Thank you so much for popping on in, and I appreciate you. I don't know if you can hear it, but I got my Bishop William Murphy in the background. And sometime in the next week or two, we're going to work on very choppy. I don't know about you. Sounds very robotic. And so, all right, Allentown, Pennsylvania in the building, because that is not Philadelphia. And yeah, I'm going to do the best that I can to begin working on clearing up and cleaning up the audio of our streams. There's some technology that we need to get, some mics and other things that we need to purchase. And so I'm going to do the best that I can to do some research on clearing up and cleaning up our audio because the video is not really as bad right now as the audio is. It needs a little improvement. Hey, family, this is where sowing, seeding, and investing comes in. I hate to hit this, but I don't really hate the hitters. I don't hate it because every industry is ran by finances. We are in the middle of our campaign, a campaign that we call Better Than Ever. And the reason we call it Better Than Ever is because we've been doing this for a while, but unfortunately, we took a hit some months ago when equipment was stolen from us. It was literally snatched from our hands while we were not awake or aware or present to defend it and present to take possession of it. And so, while it was simply in storage, minding its own business, couldn't protect itself, our equipment was stolen from us. Just simply enough for my home studio, not enough for a massive room or a massive event center or a massive sanctuary like we're getting ready to move into. But I would love it if you would partner with us with a gift of any amount, but specifically these amounts. Let me go down to this. Let me go down to this here because I think I need to. I think you want to see where we are. If you don't know where we are or what we're up to, well, first of all, before we can get to that, I want to let you know that we are going to be live in Atlanta in the month of January for our first worship encounter in our new facility. If you don't know what our new facility looks like, absolutely a lot of work, y'all. This room needs a lot of work. What you see is not what we're going to go into to worship on a consistent basis after the month of March. But in the month of March, we're going to be completing our campaign, prayerfully with your support. And so do not ignore this. I really pray that one day you have a vision that God gives you that requires support and people sow into you. Once you do yourself a favor, pay it forward, okay? Sow into this vision, invest into this vision. Every single dime you sow will go to this specific project because we have work to do. We have people's lives to change. We have communities to impact. We have freedom to deliver to people. We want to set up rooms that challenge people. We want to educate people. We want to empower people. We're in the business of people, changing people's lives for the better. And any amount you decide to sow, seed, or invest would be greatly appreciated. However, these specific amounts are what we are looking for: 100, 250, 500, 1,000, and 2,500. Please, ma'am, please, sir, I thank you in advance for what you're getting ready to sow. And I want you to consider, I want you to insistently pray. I want you to sincerely pray and ask the Lord, what would you have me to give? I want you to look at your bank account. Some things don't require prayer and an answer from God 21 days from now. Sometimes you can look and say, hey, what do I have? What can I do over the next couple of weeks, over the next couple of months? In the first quarter of the year, what can I do to help support this vision? I want you to consider sowing a seed. Hey, go to the top, go to the tippy top if you got it like that. That are going to sow 2,500. I appreciate you. You don't have to give the whole thing at once. You could say, I'm going to sow maybe 250 10 times. 250 10 times equals 2,500. You could say, I'm going to sow 500 times. 500 times 5 is 2,500. Whatever you decide to do, I greatly appreciate you. But most importantly, please meet one of these benchmarks, because these benchmarks are going to help us to get above and beyond 50K, closer to actually about 100,000, to be honest. And I would be so honored for you to share with us in this effort. Now, again, let me go back to our worship campaign. We're going to be live in worship every after January. We're going to be live in worship twice in the month of February and twice in the month of March. And then in the month of April, we're going to go to consistent corporate worship, because our facility should have been renovated by then, because you're going to partner with us and support us in our endeavor. Okay. If you didn't see our sanctuary, this is over 250 seats of beautiful space. And I cannot wait to share with you in this effort. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you're streaming in from. This is our beautiful sanctuary, our beautiful studio, our fellowship room, and I'm excited about all that we're going to get accomplished in that room. Now, today is our Saturday fellowship. And during the Saturday fellowship, what I like to do is talk about some of the things that you've had going on during this week. What's happened during your week? What's happened during my week? And how can we simply support each other? Many times it's not always that we need to get together and have a church service. If we call ourselves a church or a Christian community, sometimes it's just enough. And hey, by the way, we're streaming on Facebook, Instagram. I'm sorry, we're streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Okay. Make sure that you're following me on all of my social media channels. I greatly appreciate you. Let me get back to my saying. Sometimes it's not, it's not necessary for us to always come together as a church and have church services, because church people are good at church services. Would you mind just coming on to share with us? I share the vision on a weekly basis every Thursday, and I don't know what's going on with my video looks a little grainy, dog. Oh my goodness. Uh, so every Thursday we have what we call a launch team open house meeting, and I share the vision. I share what our culture is going to be. Saturdays are a good opportunity for us to have Saturdays are a good opportunity for us to have a bit of a vision casting as well, because this is an opportunity for me to share with you what you can do to help support this vision, and what this vision can do to help support you. So um, I see you in the chat. I see you in the comments. Thank you so very much. Hey, would you mind doing me a quick favor? Would you mind just dropping your city where you're streaming from? Let me know that you're in the room. Let me know that you're in the building. I appreciate you so very, very much. Thank you for coming on in. Thank you for sitting with us and hanging out with us. I appreciate. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. And I think we're going to have. Matter of fact, I don't think. I know we're going to have an amazing encounter on tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning I'm going to be preaching, and the following morning I'm going to be preaching, which is Christmas. Okay. Let me go to my calendar really quickly at my iPad. Let me open this up real quick, because I want to look at my calendar really, really intensely. Okay, yes. So tomorrow is the 18th, and I'm going to be preaching tomorrow morning on the 25th, Christmas morning. I'm going to be preaching as well, and I cannot wait to share with you both words. Tomorrow, I have a word that's going to be really, really empowering, concerning and centered around the Christmas season, around a story that we typically read during the Christmas season. I'm going to be preaching from Elizabeth and Mary's encounter. I'm going to be preaching from Elizabeth and Mary's encounter. And we're still in our series entitled Help is on the Way. Okay. I love preaching long series. I don't know about you. It's a different message, but it still ties into the same thing. And I think that tomorrow's message is going to really, really empower you, impact you, challenge you, change you, convict you. More importantly, encourage you and help to transform how you think about life, how you think about God, how you think about other people, how you think about yourself. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be really, really good, and I'm excited about it. Again, this is our Saturday fellowship. And so during our Saturday fellowship today, I just want to go over the list of things that we have to do, the list of things that we need to do to get ready for worship, to prepare for worship. There are 10 things that we need to do, okay? There are 10 things that we need to do, to prepare for worship. Bishop, I didn't turn you down. You loud. All right, there we go. All right, so I turned Bishop Murphy down because he was loud and distracting me. He was going to take me up in the worship. So, all right. So now let's go into our Saturday morning fellowship notes. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So our Saturday morning fellowship notes, and we did this a few weeks ago, but it bears repeating because everybody don't come in at the same time, and so I want you all to get this, and I want you to get it down in your spirit. Right, I want you to get it down in your spirit. For our Saturday morning fellowship, hey, I see you coming into the chat. I see you watching and viewing. Would you mind doing me a favor? I would love it if you just drop your city and let me know where you're streaming from. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how your week has been. Drop a comment in the chat to let me know that you had a great week, that you had a challenging week, that you had a so-so week, that you had a not too bad but not too good week. Drop something in the chat. I want to know how your week has been. That's what our Saturday morning fellowship is all about. We're not having church today. We're just simply sharing and hanging out and supporting each other as we do life together. All of us literally have to exchange something. We got to exchange words for conversation. We got to exchange energy for energy and all that. So today is just simply our fellowship hour. And I want you to hop in the chat and let me know that you are fellowshipping with us on today. Now, the 10 things that we all need to do to prepare for worship and for fellowship and for discipleship are this. Number one, set your alarms. Set your alarms for worship because you set your alarms for work. You set your alarms for your dentist and doctor appointment. You set your alarms for hair appointments and all that. When it comes to worship and for fellowship, I want you to set your alarms. Set your alarms so that you're not late. Set your alarms so that you're on time. Set your alarms so that you're prompt. Set your alarms so you're reliable. Okay. Because we shouldn't have to do all the work for you. I'll be honest, we shouldn't have to do all the work for you. We should not have to do all the work for you. And so as a result of that, because we are adults, all of us are adults where we are big grown. We big grown. I you big with your big grown self, you big grown. I want you to make sure that you are setting your alarms. We're going over the 10 things necessary to prepare for discipleship, fellowship, and worship. And the number one thing is set your alarm. Okay. Maybe I no, I'm not gonna do that. Let me see. Well, all right. So set your alarms. Sometimes you need to set them an hour beforehand, 2 hours beforehand, 30 minutes beforehand, so you know when to leave out, so that you're on time as far as when you're driving and communication. Or if you're simply sitting at home streaming worship, I do believe that because there's a current contention with pastors who think that in-person worship is more important than worshiping online or streaming services. However, the truth of the matter is, however you worship, and as often as you can worship together, do that. However you can worship, do that. As often as you can worship together in a building, do that. Because guess what? The only one that you're hurting is yourself, but not necessarily so. Let me take that back. When we don't fellowship together in person, we're not just hurting ourselves. Hey, I see you. I see you in the comments. Thank you. We're not just hurting ourselves. we are hurting each other. How? Why? Because we have something that our brother and sister needs, and our brother and sister has something that we need. And when we're not in communion with one another, when we're not fellowshipping with one another, when we're not in person with one another, I see you in the comments. Thank you. When we're not in person with one another, exchanging with one another, in the comments, say sometimes you can just develop an online relationship with people, exchange information on social media. Never put your phone number out there. I mean, you can if you want to, because ain't nobody gonna. But then if you put your phone number in the chat, you better make sure you can go back and get it and delete it, because you don't want no strangers calling you or texting you or looking you up. But exchange social media information and then exchange your number through that way. Fellowshipping online is absolutely essential, but fellowshipping in person is even more essential and important. Because before modern technology, we literally had to almost always, everybody had to meet in person. You wanted to have a good conversation, and then of course telephones came, and then Morse code came, and then email came, and then letters, have always been given back and forth. However, it's difficult to quote unquote fellowship with someone. Y'all, excuse me, trying to work through and wake myself up. It's still early on Saturday morning. I see you in the comments. Thank you so much for joining in on this morning. Before modern technology, we all had to be in person, okay? However, I'm believing that by faith, we're going to have not only a thriving virtual online digital community, we're going to also have a thriving in-person corporate gathering. Our current setting sanctuary can hold about 250 people. If I really pack it out, maybe upwards of 300, but I think that might be a violation of the fire marshal's you know, fire marshal code and all that. So we're gonna keep the room at around 250 seats. But hey, it's an amazing view from whatever angle you are coming in to check out. Okay, it's an amazing view, and I cannot wait to have you be a part of it. Now, the number one thing to prepare for fellowship, worship, and discipleship is the number one: set your alarms. Number two, share the flyers and invite. A lot of you hop on with your church or with your ministry or this ministry, and you don't hit that share button, you don't hit the like button. I'm just going to take it personal and say, you scoping this out, you sketching this out, you're trying to figure out if you want to share this with your audience. Do yourself a favor, share the button. Most times we overthink ourselves out of blessing other people. I'm gonna say this again. Many times we overthink ourselves out of blessing other people, and we overthink ourselves out of a blessing ourselves. You know what I said? Many times we overthink ourselves out of blessing other people. Sometimes some people don't just need a whole bunch of crazy nonsense. They need action. They don't need a whole bunch of hemming and hawing. They need people who are going to make it happen. And too often, when a plea or an opportunity that is good, that is wholesome, if it was some drama, you'd be able to hit that share button. If it was something humorous, you'd be able to hit that share button. If it was something catty and something snarky, you'd be able to hit that share button. Because you got to tell them all. But guess what? Hey, on Saturday morning fellowship, Sunday morning worship, or anytime that we're worshiping or fellowshipping together, hit that share button, number one, because it helps the church and helps the ministry to get out, especially if it's a quality ministry. Now, I know that you all are just looking at me streaming from my bedroom with a clear wall behind me. But if I showed y'all some of the, and I'm going to show y'all one day, I'm going to show you some of the videos, and actually maybe I'll try to get a quick clip or a screenshot of what my studio looked like before I lost my equipment. I may try to get me a quick screenshot while we're on camera. Would y'all mind? Would you mind if I go in my phone really quickly and find a quick screenshot of what our corporate worship looked like? Would you mind if I did that? If you give me like a minute or two, I can go into my phone and show you what my studio looked like before my equipment was stolen and I lost all of my streaming equipment, all of my backdrop presentation and all that. Let me know. I want you to drop something in the comment, because sometimes, we hear please, like, please like, please share, please subscribe. And y'all be thinking, why should I do that? Ain't nothing spectacular about what you got going on. Would you mind if I showed you how spectacular this brother designs a studio in his home? I turned a whole room, a bedroom, into an office space and a streaming studio. Would you mind if I did that? I want to see something in the chat, because y'all ain't saying nothing. So I'm assuming you don't mind. I'm assuming you don't mind. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go into my phone real quick. Give me a couple seconds. I'm going to go into my phone real quick, and I'm going to pull up a video of of. I'm going to pull up a video clip. I'm going to screenshot. I don't think that I can upload the video. I can't upload the whole video, but I'm going to pull up a screenshot of our what my home studio look like. Y'all give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, y'all still here with me? Y'all ain't here with me. Y'all done hopped off. Lord have mercy. Okay. We're coming back. I'm coming back on the screen. I see the Saints don't like blink screen. The Saints ain't got no patience. They don't know how to wait. They come in and out whenever they want to. My God, ain't that powerful? All right, so I want y'all to do something. Do yourself a quick favor. I'm going to show you what my home studio looked like. My home studio looked like, because you're just looking at what you see right now. Okay, let me show you what my home studio looked like. Um, it was really a chapel for me as well. It was a small sanctuary, a small replica of what we're going to do in the corporate worship space. This is what it looked like. Uh-oh, give me a second, y'all. All right, well that's a terrible screenshot. All right, hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Hey, good morning. Good morning. I see you. I see you in the comments. Thank you so very, very much. Oh, give me one second, y'all. Let me straighten this thing out real quick. And all right, now I'm going to show you what the studio looked like before we lost our equipment. This is what it looked like just set up with our altar, our candlesticks, a podium. There's a censer on the altar, and it was a beautifully appointed chapel. Now, let me show you a bit of what the rest of the room would do when we were in worship. We would light that thing up. Yeah, this is just simply a small idea of what, and this is when I took everything from out of my studio and put it in my living room because I wanted to see what it looked like in slash studio looked like when I had all of my equipment, when I had all of my, both of those crosses, when I had my lights, when I had my candlesticks, my altar table. This is what it looked like when I put all of that stuff together. And this was just in my office area. I turned my office into a streaming studio, into a chapel. And this is one of my favorite pictures. I love the combination of reds and purples and blues. This is like green and yellow lights here. This is me in the room. So if you can get an idea of me, this is me in that chapel. And to get even better than ever than where we were. Trust me when I tell you, you ain't seen nothing, none of the potential that I had planned for this room um, was fully realized. None of it. None of the potential that I had for this room was fully realized. Okay. None of the potential that I have for this room was fully realized. However, we're going to get back to it. And I'm believing that by faith, we're going to turn what you saw in this room and we're going to take it and we're going to do it over here. Okay. Would you believe God with us that what we did in that small room, we're going to be able to do. I'm going to show you it again. What we did over here, I want to duplicate it and put it into this big room right here. Okay. And could you imagine not just what you saw there, which is a few colored lights, but our LED panels. I'm not going to have a big old wall behind me. Honestly, I hate these big screen TVs we're putting in our churches. They drive me insane. Everybody wants a big screen TV in their church on their pulpit, and it's absolutely nuts because first of all, it's no, I'm not gonna get into it, but let's be real here. Not everybody needs a big flat screen TV behind them when they're preaching. That does not make you a modern church. No. But makes you a modern church is being able to take LED technology and do incredible things with it outside of what the normal folks do. So you're going to see that at fullness. You're going to see that. Oh, yeah, by the way, we are in worship in the month of January. I need to get back to my list because we are totally off track and I don't like going off track. It is 9:18 and I want to get out of here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So my watch is dead. I gotta plug it in. So hey, all right. So here's what we're doing, y'all. Let me get back to my list. 10 things to prepare for discipleship, fellowship, and worship. Number one, set your alarms. I don't see nobody, none of the folks that follow me on a consistent basis posting these things in the chat. Set your alarms, which means you're out there driving and you ain't paying me no mind, no attention. I don't like that. That does not make me feel special. Um, so hey, but I'm gonna let you do. I'm gonna let you be great. I'm gonna let you do what you do. Hey family, I see you in the comments. Thank you so much for popping on in. I appreciate you. Number one, set your alarms. Number two, share the flyers and invite. We don't do a good job of sharing and inviting. That's the point I was on. That's the reason why I needed to go back and find those screenshots so that I could share with you what our studio looked like um, before I lost all of my equipment. And I would love to get back there with your support. There's giving links in the comments. There's a giving link in the chat in the caption. Sow a seed into Magnificat Global Ministries as we help build Church Unlimited, as we help build Fullness and Ladder and Victorious and Antioch. Sow a seed into Magnificat Global Ministries as we build up the Church Unlimited in all of its campuses on the East Coast. Because we're going to take the city by storm, the region by storm, the coast by storm, and eventually the nation by storm. And I'm excited about what God's going to allow us to do on the global scale after that assignment is complete and throughout that assignment. Okay. Number three, set channels. Set your channels on YouTube and TV and share the channels with your friends and family. Send the flyer and send the YouTube channel. Sometimes we got to make things easy. This is called digital discipleship. This is called urban evangelism. Okay. Send the YouTube channel, send the Facebook channel, send the Twitter channel, and then send the flyer along with it and say, hey, I would love it if you join us for worship. You don't even have to leave where you are. Just set your alarm for 10 or 15 minutes beforehand, and maybe I'll check in with you before worship and join us for worship. Set your channels and share them with your family and friends. Most times people don't come to church or they don't join you in what you're doing because they simply don't know you haven't shared it with them. Before I go live, every single time before I go live, I go into my Insta story or my Facebook story, or I make a post about it hours before or minutes before, so that even if people don't catch it live, they can catch it after the fact. But I do my best to share because I believe in this vision. If I didn't share it, if I didn't believe in the vision, I wouldn't share it. So share. Number four, prepare your tithe and your offering. You never come before someone who is giving of their time, talent, and treasure to you without a gift in return. That is extremely wicked. And to those of you who I love dearly, who continue to take up people's time and their talent and their efforts, their energy that they expend to you, and you never tell them thank you, you never show them that you appreciate them, you never show them that you honor them. See, giving is a act of honor. Giving is an act of honor. When you do not give to a thing that is giving to you on a consistent basis, it is encouraging you, equipping you, empowering you, convicting you, challenging you. One of the individuals who I speak to on a regular basis, always says, "Aren't you always ready for a rebuke? The bishop is always ready to rebuke somebody." Not necessarily. Here's what the scripture rebuke, not rebuke in the terms of chastising you or just being negative. I'm not being negative or pessimistic or pointing out failures for the sake of pointing them out. If I point something out and you or even me is pointing out, it's because it's an area of improvement that we need to work on so that we can come to our best and highest self. That's what it's all about. It's all about coming to your best and your highest self. So if someone cares about you enough to tell you, hey, you're off, hey, you're wrong, hey, you're late, hey, you ain't got it all together, hey, tighten this up. That's not called rebuke in the sense of trying to tear you down. It is constructive criticism with the intention of building you up and making you a better you, making me a better me, making us a better us, so that we can have an excellent and 5-star and A1 society. That when people walk into our rooms, they know we're not a bunch of slouches. We don't let a bunch of stuff slip and slide. We are on top of it. And every now and then we will have our weak days and our weak moments, but for the most part, we do the best we can to be all strong links who, even in our weak times, because someone else has had their weak moment, we were strong. When it's time for us to have our weak moment, they can be strong for us. Okay. So my goal is to make you a mature believer. That's what the name fullness is all about. Fullness is about maturity, coming up to your highest self, filling the cup that you are to its fullest potential. That's what fullness is all about. I want to see you at your best self, your highest self. I'm not just talking about heaven. Heaven is not the goal for me. What you do in the earth is the goal for me. Because what you do in the earth will impact the quality of the life of people that are around you. And by that, God is pleased. By that, God is glorified. And by that, we will be judged as according to our works in the earth. Heaven is not the goal for this preaching. Heaven is not the goal for this fellowship. Heaven is not the goal for this assembly. Heaven is, and we're gonna get to quote unquote heaven in a minute, because that ideology, that escapism theology, where we just live and to live again, that's a false doctrine. We're going to deal with that soon enough. That's a false doctrine, because it removes us from responsibility in the earth, which means we don't care about people, we don't love on people. And Jesus said, "That which you've done to the least of these, you've done unto me." A lot of what we have to do that pleases God is helping to support one another in this life. He gave apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers for the perfecting of the saints. He didn't just give it for the work of ministry. Ministry means people, for the edifying of the body of Christ. The body of Christ is people. So, so here we are. So here we are. Again, I just want to let you know that whenever you come before someone who is giving up their time, their talent, and their treasure to you, it is dishonorable not to sow back into them. It is dishonorable not to seed back into them. And I want to stop this culture of dishonor. There will not be a culture of dishonor in my ministry. I'm gonna just say that flat out. If you are consistently taking from this ministry, if you're consistently pulling from this ministry, if you're consistently yanking from this ministry, if you're consistently present in this ministry to take, but never to give something back to help it go further, you, my friend, my sister, my brother, are responsible for the fatigue and the tiredness and the aggravation and the depression of those who are pouring out. You are personally responsible. You are held responsible for the aggravation and the depression and the fatigue and the tiredness of those who are giving and giving and giving and feel like their efforts are just spinning in the mud and they don't feel appreciated or honored. When you honor them by sowing and seeding into the vision, by sowing and seeding back into them so that they can continue to do what they do and do it better, that is what refreshes them. Buy me a glass of water, buy me lunch, it does not refresh me. What refreshes me is seeing people who see the vision, who catch the vision, who have faith in the vision. The Bible says have childlike faith, which means you don't need a whole bunch of convincing. If you know that it's good, sow into it, seed into it. And I promise you, your reward will be the increase of it, because you're sowing. You will never get out of something that you don't sow into first. And so, again, number four, uh, to prepare for worship and fellowship, you must prepare your offering and your gift and your tithe as well. If you're joined to this ministry, hey, you don't even have to join the ministry to tithe to it. So long as it is a church, so long as it is a ecclesia, a called out assembly, a place where the saints gather, where God's minister, God's priest shares and empowers and equips the people of God, that is a place worth tithing into. You ain't got to join the church to tithe to the church. You ain't got to join the ministry to tithe to the ministry. But you should tithe and you should give and you should sow seeds of honor, because that is what refreshes the visionary and encourages their heart to want to keep doing it and to do it even more. And more importantly, it gives them the resources they need. Because y'all, I need to buy cameras, I need to buy lights, I need to buy backdrops, I need to buy screens, I need to buy speakers, I need to buy mics and monitors, I need to buy I need to buy cords and stands. We have a lot. We got to buy chairs. We got to buy carpet. We got to buy epoxy so that way we can rip up those. Let me show y'all this room again. Some of y'all don't understand. We got to rip up all these chairs. Every last one of these chairs are getting ripped up. That carpet is getting ripped up. We're ripping up the floors, and we're probably going to be in there for a week or two, just tearing everything up, tearing it all up. We're going to paint the walls. I'm going to put a curtain on that back wall, and then we're going to have our LED panels, up and down that wall. We're going to have screens on all, we're going to have three screens up there, one center screen, and then two side screens. The center screen is going to always have its camera on the speaker so that everyone can see the speaker, really, really crisp and clear. And then the two side camera screens are going to be for our live stream. So you'll know what the live stream looks like while we're watching. You'll be able to see yourself or whatever else is going on that we put on the live stream. Whatever's on the live stream is what's going to be on the side screens, okay? Excuse me. So we got a lot of work to do in that building. Just because we got a space doesn't mean we're just going to go into it haphazardly. The chairs alone are going to cost us almost $20,000. I believe I was quoted at 17,000. And that's for 250 chairs. I wish I could show y'all what the chairs look like. Do y'all want to see what the chairs look like? Let me know. I actually may be able to add the chairs right here. No, I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm not gonna do it. Actually, yes, I do. I want to add the chairs. I'm gonna add the chairs. I'm gonna add the chairs. I'm gonna add the chairs. Yes, I am. I'm gonna add these. I'm gonna show you what the chairs look like. I'm gonna show you what the chairs look like. Okay. I'm gonna show y'all what the chairs look like really quickly so that y'all understand why they cost so much money. I'm gonna show y'all what the stage looks like real quickly so y'all can understand where your money's going. I'm gonna show you what our speakers are gonna look like real quick that you can understand because some people literally just need to see it. You just have to see it. I don't have any pictures about what our mics are gonna look like. I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm gonna show you all a picture of what the altar is gonna look like, what the floor is gonna look like. Um, so let me get to all of this. Let me get to all of this. Uh, I'm just gonna show you what it looks like, okay? I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Now, again, this is, matter of fact, let me just go here. This is what our chairs are gonna look like. These are the chairs. And 250 of these are gonna cost us, I think the chairs are about $60 to $70 a piece, which is not bad. It's a great price for a chair. These are what the chairs are gonna look like for the congregation, for just the entire room. These are going to be what the mass seating chairs. If you like these chairs, drop something in the chat. I see y'all looking, but I don't see nobody talking. Everybody looking, nobody talking. Is y'all sleepy? Y'all tired? Is y'all sleepy? Is y'all tired? Talk back to me. This is what the chairs are going to look like. Isn't that beautiful? You see the front and then look at the back of the chair. Imagine 250 of those, like a sea of stained glass. That's what I want. That's the what I want. These are our speaker chairs. These are the chairs that are going to be up on the platform, the podium, not the podium, the platform, the stage, up where our special guests are going to be. And some of you might be a special guest one day. You will get the privilege to sit in this chair. Isn't that beautiful? That is a beautiful chair. And I think that this chair is about $200 or $300 a piece. And so this is what our speaker chairs are going to look like. This is what our audience chairs are going to look like. This is what our speaker chairs are going to look like. This is what the stage is going to look like, y'all. It's not going to be white, though. It's going to be black. It's going to be a nice, pretty, glossy black. Let me show you what the glossy black looks like. 1 second, y'all. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Okay, let me get over here. I'm going to show you what the black looks like so that you can see it. So that you can see it. And I want you to see it really, really vividly. Here we go. This is what, oh Lord, that's horrible. This is what the black looks like, all right? It's going to be that, but in black, okay? This is what the black looks like. It's a black, real glossy, high polished, shiny look. This is what our stage, our pulpit's going to look like, okay? This is what's going to go into that large room. Something that's going to be big and modern. This is what our speakers are going to look like, okay? Because some of us just simply need to see what it's going to look like so that we can know what it is. I wish more adults had childlike faith when it comes to spiritual things, spiritual leaders who truly have a vision. This is what our altar is going to look like. And I mean, wish I could zoom in there, but that's the altar table right there. That right there. That's the altar table. Not the little one, the large, the big one. That's what our altar table is going to look like. And we're going to have that altar seated in the center. It's going to be elevated. Um, so again, this is what the chairs look like. This is what our stage is going to look like in that glossy black. This is what our speakers look like. And this is what our altar is going to look like. So again, this isn't our vision casting meeting, but when you seed and sow into this vision, when you honor the vision with your seed, and I'm going to talk about it on next Sunday. I'm going to talk about the wise men who came to worship. I'm going to talk about the wise men who came to worship. And I'm going to talk about it so that you understand um, the necessity of presenting gifts. Presenting gifts. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it on next Sunday. This Sunday, I'm talking about Mary and Elizabeth. Next Sunday, I'm talking about the wise men. And I think you need to make sure that you're tuned in both Sundays. It's going to bless you. You're going to be really, really changed, challenged, convicted, encouraged, and empowered to understand uh, the cost and the weight of vision. God had a vision, and everything concerning the vision had to be meticulously planned and organized, including that vision being introduced to certain people who would help the vision become alive. Okay? I can't get into too much right now because I'll start preaching about my message. But you need to make sure that you're a part of that this Sunday stream tomorrow and next Sunday stream because it's going to really, really bless you. I don't know. I may put on something real fancy for next Sunday. I may get dressed up next Sunday. I don't know. We're going to see. Um, I don't get dressed up very often, but I may get dressed up real, real nice on next Sunday, on Christmas Sunday. I may get dressed up real nice. We're going to see. Okay. I may not feel contemporary. I may feel like I want to get, I feel like I want to get all the way dressed up. So let's see. Well, so we've been online for 45 minutes now. Amen. And we finna get off in the next 5 to 10 minutes. All right, now let me go. Uh, we have already done point one of how to prepare for discipleship, fellowship, and worship. Point one is set your alarm. Share the flyers and invite people. Number three, set your channels on YouTube and your television so that you can share with people, share the stream with people. Even if you're going to be in person, some people are not going to come in person with you. Some people need to be warmed up to the idea of coming to church with you. Tell them, hey, I would love it if you'd stream with our church today. I'm alive in person. You might see me on camera. If you see me, shout me out. Or if you get on the chat, say my friend invited me. I'm on here because my friend invited me. Or I'm here because, I didn't really feel like coming out in person to church, but I'm going to come out soon. I want to check y'all out before I get there. Something like that, all right? And I want you to groom and clothe yourself. Get dressed and all that. Don't be walking around trying to stream church in your house robe. No, get dressed and bathe and perfume yourself and all that good stuff, okay? Get dressed like you're actually going in person because you'll actually feel more part of the experience when you're dressed and ready for it, okay? Number six, eat and drink. Don't come on. Listen, I got a protein shake right here, a little caramel protein shake, and I'm gonna drink that 30 grams of protein. I drink about 6 of those a day, along with about 2 whole liters or 3 liters worth of water, which is about a gallon of water. Um, and I'm hydrated. I make sure that I satisfy myself so that I ain't gotta go out, run to the corner store, and get me a bag of chips because my blood sugar low. We are not. We're removing distractions, and that's really what it's all about. Set your atmosphere and pray. This is number seven. Number six is eat and drink. Number seven, set your atmosphere and pray. Pray and focus. Have some worship music going on before worship begins, whether you're streaming whether you're streaming at your home or you're driving to the church, wherever you may be. We're talking about the 10 things that you need to do to prepare for worship and discipleship. Okay, beloved? Pray and focus. Don't have a whole bunch of garbage conversations around you when you're on your way to worship. Okay? Have your mind centered on the holy mountain. Have your mind centered on the presence of God. Have your mind and your conversation and your spirit centered on God's getting ready to do something. God's getting ready to speak to me through his manservant, his maidservant, my pastor, my male and female pastor, the minister, whoever's going to be sharing. God's going to do us. God's going to speak, and I want to make sure that my spirit is as right as possible, so that I don't have any distractions that will delay and deter him from moving. Now, God is all present, but he's all powerful, but he's also a gentleman. He will not force his way into anywhere because he's given us free will. Therefore, we need to do all that we can to prepare ourselves for his presence. Um, so set your atmosphere. Make sure that you're praying and focusing. Number eight, have a note-taking utensil. Make sure that when you come into worship and to fellowship and to discipleship, and that you're taking notes. That you're in the comments in the chat, doing what Pastor says. If the pastor says, if Bishop Apostle says, type something in the chat, you should be able to go back to that chat and see all the notes that you put in there. Among all the hundreds and thousands that might be in there. Um, and take your notes down, or just put your own notes, copy and paste your notes from wherever you're taking your notes at, and put them in the comments and in your own note taking utensil so that you can go back over them. You want to go back over them and rehearse them because you want that word to get down in your spirit so that it can do some changing in your life. That's what this is all about. It's all about life changing. It's all about improving the quality of your life. It's all about experiencing the quality of life that God wants you to have. Okay. Number nine, log in early. Make sure that you're setting your channels early, not just finding them, but setting your channels early. Go to YouTube, go to Twitter, go to Facebook, go to Instagram. Well, eventually we're going to be streaming on Instagram as well. We're going to be streaming on Instagram really, really soon, and I cannot wait to share with you what that looks like. I'm excited about it, and I hope that you are too. Okay. Now, number 10, remove all distractions, and that includes making sure that you eat, make sure that the kids are where they're supposed to be. So remove all distractions. I would love it if we could have a functional kids church, a functional children's church at Fullness and at all of our locations. Now, at our current facility, we do have a children's church facility, a children's church, a children's ministry department, a children's ministry section where there's a specific room explicitly created for the kids. It's bright and it's beautiful. I'm gonna take some pictures of it so y'all can see it when I go back, probably tomorrow. I may go back up there tomorrow. So I want you all to be a part of that, and I cannot wait to share with you. I'm getting out of here. I talked more than enough. I talked about things that I wasn't supposed to be talking about today, but I needed to share this with you so that you knew what direction we were going in. Again, this is our beautiful stage, and I cannot wait to share with you more about how all of this is going to come together. Join us each and every single Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. Every single Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. Join us for prayer. We're praying every single morning, Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. Every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. We are in discipleship and we are in our launch team open house where we share the vision. Every Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. we are in fellowship. This is where we just get together and talk about the vision, and we talk about your life and your concerns and your burdens. And since we didn't have a lot of people joining us this morning, uh, I was just talking about. I felt like talking about my concerns and my vision. All right, and now and then of course on Sunday mornings we worship. Tomorrow I'm going to be preaching, and it's going to be a powerful word. You do not want to miss this. Okay, I love y'all. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. Until next time, you'll have a blessed and prosperous week, and I cannot wait to see you in worship. Take care. Be blessed.